It's your boy Danny and we back at it with another video. In today's video, I'm going to break down two trades that I took today, one in New York, one in London session, and I'm going to show you guys my full thought process behind these trades, okay? So if you really want to learn how to trade, make sure you watch this video. Also, I do want to talk to you a little bit about this month. This is August, the end of the summer. Market conditions usually bad at this time, okay? So if you guys are taking your setup and you guys are not seeing it play out, it's perfectly fine. It's normal. But what you can do is stop trying to go for that 1 to 2, 1 to 3 at this given moment, just because price has been moving weird, okay? You don't want to be holding trades when price don't even know what it really wants to do. So be smart when you're trading at this time, because at the end of the day, the last thing you want is to be up in profits and the next thing you know, you look back at it and your profits are fully gone. So that being said, if you guys haven't followed my Instagram, I'll put the link down below, but I post every one of my live trades on there this month. And also you will also see that I haven't been holding my trade for a 1-to-1, just because I'm just trying to get in and out of the markets and take my money and leave and come back the next day. I'm not trying to do anything extra, because price will literally clap you in this market condition. So take your profits as you go. Stop setting your profit goal. Stop going into the market every day trying to set a target number. Just go into the market every day and tell yourself, hey, I want to see my setup. I want to be able to take my setup today, no matter how much I make on this trade. As long as I take my setup and stick to my plan, that is all that matters. And once you start doing that, you will approach the market every day differently, instead of coming into the market telling yourself, I'm gonna make $1,000, I'm gonna make $1,000. What if you don't make that $1,000? You know what I mean? So have a better mindset when you're in these type of conditions and secure your profits as you go. It's really that simple, okay? So we're gonna get into the breakdown of the two trades I took today, and I'm also gonna show you guys, if you guys are using my strategy or you guys are trying to learn my strategy, I'm gonna show you guys what to do and what not to do when you are taking a range momentum setup. Because as I've been back testing, been looking at the charts, I am seeing that a lot of times we are running into a supply or demand when we are taking that range momentum with the closure. So by seeing what I'm about to show y'all today, you guys will learn and understand either if you should be taking this setup or if you should be lowering down your risk, okay? So besides that, let's get into the actual breakdown of the video. I'll see y'all in the next slide. All right, peace. All right, let's get into the actual breakdown of my first trade that I took in London session, okay? So I always get on at 1 a.m. Central Time, which is pre-London. It's an hour before London opens. And I noticed when you get on at pre-London, usually there's a lot of volume to where you most likely will have a trade before getting into London session. So for me, I'm doing that all day. I'm not trying to be on the charts till 4 or 5 a.m. Like, I'm trying to get in and out, get my setup, and go on about my day, okay? So I always start on the 1 hour time frame. I'm only trading on 3 time frames: the 1 hour, 30-minute, and the 15-minute time frame. The 1 hour and 30-minute are mainly for ranges. The 15 minutes mainly for my entry, okay? So as I'm on the 1 hour time frame, price is kind of choppy right here. So you kind of really want to just see where's your most recent support and your most recent resistance, okay? Don't worry about what's happening over here. Just worry about what's happening right here in front of you at this time, okay? So I'm gonna use a line today just to change up a little bit. So we have a 1 hour support right here, and then we also have a 1 hour resistance right here and right here. Now ask yourself this: which resistance would you use? Would you use this one or would you use this one? For me, I'm using the top one. Reason being is, let's just say hypothetically you use this. Let's just ignore this. Let's say you use this as your resistance, right? And then you eventually get into a position. Let's say price did come up here. The chances of price stopping right here is very high, because we have struggled here multiple times, as well as price also consolidate. So if we know that price is consolidating in this area, why would you want to have your resistance right here and then take buys here, when there's two things that could happen? Price could reject here, and if you were to get into your entry, you probably won't even have a good amount of room to even let price run. And for two, price is consolidating. So now you have a chance of being stuck in consolidation if you were to buy in this range. So I wouldn't use this resistance. I would use this resistance up here, because now if you can see, if we do break above here, you have clean traffic coming up to here. So it's just a lot better. It's a lot cleaner. And it gives you an opportunity to really let the market show its hand before you try to be forcing any trades in this range, okay? So this is the range on the 1 hour. Then let's get on to the 30-minute time frame. So if you see 30-minute candles sticking outside of your line or your zones, just adjust them to the body of the 30-minute candle. So you can see up here, I'm gonna adjust this up here. And then the bottom zone, which is our support, is perfectly lined up with the 1 hour. So we really don't have to do anything here. Okay, so let's make sure. So always make it where it's on the body, because then I want to see if it's an actual closure. You know what I mean? So once I figure that out, I drop down to the 15-minute time frame and I just wait. This range right here, this is a no trade range. Okay, so let me this gray box, or actually let me make this red for this video. This is a no trade range. I'm not taking any trades in here. Okay, so we know that. Now you can see that we had a candle closure outside before, but this was way before our session, so I'm not even worried about what happened here. I'm just worried about what price is doing currently. Okay, so let's play this out. So what are we doing? We're just waiting for a closure. Boom. So now you can see on the 15-minute time frame, we have a closure to the downside on this 1 hour line. Okay, again, you can use a zone or a line with whatever you're more comfortable with. In this video, I'm doing a line just to switch it up, you know what I mean? But as you can see, we have this closure on this 15-minute candle to the downside. Okay, so now since we have a closure and sells look really clean because we have clean traffic going over here. So now if we were to take sells, price could potentially come down to this support. Again, we don't know what price is going to do, especially in this market condition, but that's going to give us a higher probability of winning this trade if we were to take sells and to take buys, because now we're actually getting a closure. Okay, so as we get a closure, what am I doing next? I'm waiting for the next 15-minute candle to go up as it makes that top wick. Okay, it needs to make a top wick first. As it make that top wick, I'm setting my sell stops right below that previous 15, not on the wick, but right below it. And I'm just waiting and hoping that this candle will reflip, break the previous 15-minute low, and then secure our profits. So as the next candle formed, it went up first. It made that top wick. You see that top wick right there? It made that top wick. And so my thoughts would be right above this 15-minute candle and this 15-minute candle wick. Okay, and I'm going for a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2, whatever you guys want to do. Lately, I haven't been holding for a 1-to-1. I've been getting in and out super quick because, again, market condition has been terrible and we just have to really take what the market gives you. But you can see on this trade, if you were to hold for a 1-to-2, TP smash, this thing went for a 1-to-3. So as you can see, the power of waiting for a closure and the power of understanding the candle that is going to give you that entry and what it needs to do first to then get you in is very, very, very powerful. So please understand that once you get a closure, you're not taking any setup yet. You need to wait for additional confirmation that price really wants to go your way. So this was a trade that I took in London session. Okay, now on the next slide, I'm going to say break down the trade that I took on New York session, and it's still on gold as well, but it's a little bit different. And this is what I'm going to show you guys on why you should be careful when you're taking range momentum if you are running into a supply or a demand. Okay, beside that, let's get on to the next trade. All right, let's get into the second trade that I took today in New York session. Okay, now this setup is a little bit different. We are still going to be using support and resistance, but I'm also implementing supply and demand just because of market condition on this setup. Okay, so again, you gotta know what supply or demand is. Go watch my older videos as I break down literally step by step on how you can look for supply and demand and how to take your trades. Okay, so let's get into the actual breakdown. First things first, I find my support and my resistance. So on the 1 hour time frame, I see we have a support sitting right here, and also see we have two levels of resistance, one right here and one right here. Now again, ask yourself, if you were to use this level and price do close, if you take buys here, you're running into a major 1 hour resistance right here, which means that price can either consolidate here or price could either reverse from here. So do you want to take that risk here, or would you rather use this resistance up here? So when it does close up here, you have clean traffic over there. So my thought process was, I'm gonna use this resistance. Just makes the most sense, right? Once I figured that out, go down to the 30-minute time frame. Support level on the 30-minute looks good. We don't need to adjust. On the resistance though, we do need to adjust, which is up here. So now we have a range, a clean range. Now, as I look back at the 1 hour time frame, what I was seeing is we have a lot of buying pressure coming in over here. And at this 1 hour resistance, major resistance, we started making bearish structure. So now it's telling me, okay, cool. We could potentially be bearish today, but we could also be bullish. But what really made me be bearish today was because we had a 1 hour supply right there. With the gap is from here to here. With the gap sitting at a 1 hour major resistance. So that's multiple confirmation that, okay, cool, we could potentially bounce from this level because not only is it a 1 hour supply, but it's a 1 hour major resistance and we have a gap. So this is a plus supply setup. Now, I'm not automatically thinking I'm going to take a supply because price could literally just blast through this area, right? But I have that in mind. So then I'm dropping down to the 15-minute time frame. And this is what gave me all the confirmation that I needed that this supply might be the play for today. You can see on the 1 hour supply, we have a 15-minute supply inside of that 1 hour. So let's move this over here. So let's move this up here. So you can see we have a 15-minute supply starting at that bullish candle and then price drop. Also with a gap as well. So now we have multiple gaps. We have a 1 hour gap, which is right here. And then we also have a 15-minute gap, which is right there. So eventually price, by the way it looks at this given point, we are going to fill in these gaps. Now, we don't know if it's going to hold this level, but we know that price should be filling in these gaps. So let's play this out on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, you saw what just happened. Now you see what just happened. So let's replay this right here. So on this bullish candle right here, that wick, we literally cleared out the 1 hour gap. So let's take away that 1 hour gap. On this bearish candle, which was once very bullish, came up, cleared out the 15-minute gap. As it's clearing out the 15-minute gap, we're also rejecting heavily off of this supply area. Now, this is where I was telling myself, we're rejecting very nicely off the zone. We're at a 1 hour major resistance. We cleaned out all the gaps. What are the chances of us going down compared to going up? If we were to buy, if you were looking for buys here, why would you buy into a major 1 hour supply and a major 1 hour resistance? It would not make any sense. This is a 15-minute time frame. If you're buying into these levels, you're most likely going to get clapped. So I saw this candle close and I'm like, okay, cool. If I take a supply and demand setup, I'm not waiting for a top wick or a bottom wick. I'm waiting for the next candle to break this previous candle and I'm in that trade. Now my stops were different on this setup, okay? So let's play this out. Boom. I'm in that trade now, okay? Because we got the break and originally I have my stops above this candle wick just because in this range we are trading in a range where price is consolidating and price has been moving up and down. So I want to give my trade room to let it play out. And realistically, I had this 1-to-1 somewhere here, but I didn't hold it for a 1-to-1. I closed it somewhere like halfway, okay? So let's play this out. Okay, so once this candle, this bearish candle came up, make that top wick, breaking these highs, and then reflipping, I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to move my stops down to this current 15-minute candle. Because this candle, if it already broke the previous 15-minute candle wick and it reflipped to break its low, it shouldn't come back to reflip and start pushing up. If that was the case, you should want to be out at this point, okay? So I moved my stops there and then I did shorten my TP because I moved my stops. So I put it like somewhere right here. And then I literally closed somewhere around here. So that was literally this setup. And I was in and out of this trade fairly quickly because there's a lot of selling pressure here. Like this is a key level, okay? Now, our supply and demand setups, we usually always put stops at the break of the current candle once it breaks. But at this point, I was like, I'd rather be safe than get stopped out and then have price go my way. So I put my stops here and then you want to adjust it. If you know your stops is not in the place that you ideally put it, you want to adjust it once price is actually going your way so that you can manage your trade. So once I saw price doing this, it came up, reflip, and then got back to entry and it started pushing down. I put my stops at that current candle top wick. And then from there, the rest was history. This was a 1-to-1. if you hold this trade, I'm pretty sure it consolidated afterwards. But beside that though, that was literally my thought process behind this trade. And I hope this breakdown helped you guys out, because not every day in the markets you're gonna see your same setup. You're gonna see your same setup a lot, but you're not gonna see it all the time. So you have to adapt and understand what price is really doing. This is me breaking down this setup to the T. Like, this is more complex than just getting on and finding ranges or trading a breakout. This is really understanding what price is showing you. So hope you guys learned something from this video. Watch this video again if you still have a hard time understanding how my strategy works. And beside that, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.